So I'm going to put this onto the tissue paper as well, this piece, so that you can see how much ink you need, which is very, very little. Okay. So can you see that? Now let's put it onto a piece of computer paper. And of course, with gel printing, paper makes all the difference, really. Now, so I'll just register this here like this. And use this as a baron. Okay, let's see what it does on this paper. You'll see a marked difference. All right. Now there's even still some on there, so what I'll do is I'll put the white oil paint over the top. Now the beauty with printmaking inks is that you can keep printing over and over without letting it dry. Well, that's what I do. Now not everybody would do that, I'm sure, but I quite like that. So remember, when you're doing this layer, it's as light as light when you put this on. It's almost like you're just touching the surface with the brayer, like this. Okay. And then I could use this, I suppose, and put a bit of texture into it. All right. And maybe then use some of these. What else have I got here? Maybe this one, half size. And then put it on this other side of this. Right? Because it will go perfectly together because of the palette. Right. Now I can use this baron this time if I want to, but the reason that I use this one is, what happens is, because it's foam, it really gets down between those stencils or masks that you've got there, and you can get to the lower level. So let's have a look. Really, really pale. But it does show you how far the ink goes. So here's the perfect opportunity to overprint over this, and I'll show you how to do that. So take these off. Then I might use the Prussian blue this time. So remember your light and dark, always thinking about light and dark. That's the blue one. There's quite a bit of ink still on here from the turquoise, so I'm just wiping it off a little bit. See how much ink is left on there? It's amazing, isn't it? How far it goes. Incredible. Okay, so remember, press harder with your brayer to smooth it out, because it takes a little bit of effort to get it smoothed out, but it will. Whereas when you put acrylic on, you're just doing it very lightly, aren't you? But with the inks, you need to press down hard. Okay, so I'm going to wipe this, and I'm going to take a bit of this ink off because I think there's far too much on there, really. So I'll just put that onto a piece of tissue. You know, this tissue here that I used before, remember that? Let's just put the straight down on there to get rid of some of that ink. You'll see how much comes off. It's just incredible. The density of it is But that's what I love about printmaking inks. There's the integrity of them is just, it's so gorgeous. Anyway, so here's another thing that we can use. This is just a sort of a rubber mat thing that I bought at Kmart, I think. Give a bit of texture. Press that on. And maybe do some more bits and pieces like this. That, and what about this thing? Okay. Right, now what you can do is you can press that down and not leave it there if that's what you want. So what you'll do, you'll get an impression without leaving it on the plate. You can decide to leave it if you want to. Right, so that's that. Now I'm going to put that over the top of this, and the way to do that is this gel plate is on a Perspex block. So you just put it down like that, line it up and register it. Where am I? Here we are. Put it down, flip it over, burnish it, lift it up. Okay, so you can see that. So you can keep going and going with this. Now there's plenty of ink left on this brayer. You have a look. Heaps. And that will keep going for ever, almost. So much ink. Right, so let's do just one more and just have a look, and I'll show you some stamping into maybe. So let's put something different on. These the grasses that we have around the place at the moment are gorgeous. I will do this depending on the seasons. I love nature, and I love everything that she throws up at us, every bit of it. This is an old pill case thing, I think, which I've used quite a bit over time. Anything makes marks, really. And what about this funny thing? Look at this. Let's do that. Put that down again. So you can just take that print like that, or you could come in and do something like this. Alright, so it's one of my big stencils, or masks I should say, and then I'll just put it directly onto the computer paper. This is just slightly thicker computer paper that I buy rather than the usual one. Right, so here we go. Just put this on here. I think gel monotypes are the most satisfying thing you can do in a day to get yourself out of the crazy world that we're in, because I've just heard that Russia has now done something else in Ukraine, which is very dangerous. Yeah, so the best thing to do is to get away from it all, go into your studio or into a space where you can you know, have a play around with things rather than, you know, being bombarded with horrible news. And it's just so sad for everybody as well. Alright, so that's the negative. Here we go, here's the positive. Now I've only used a couple of colours because I didn't want this video to be onerously long. I just wanted you to realise that you can use your printmaking inks on your gel press. Right, so, oh, look at that, lovely. See? Now there's something about the I don't know, the quality of the ink and the subtlety that you can get from it as well. That's really beautiful. So I'll put something on this side. What if I put a different colour? I'll put the sandgrine on there. Right, where's the little brayer? Where did I put it? Here it is. Right. See how much ink is still left on there. It's amazing, isn't it? So remember, push harder. Obviously not pushing harder over anything sharp on your gel press because you'll ruin it, but a brayer is fine. And you can see what happens. It does end up smoothing it out. Right, so what shall I do with this? What if I use a commercial stencil this time, or one that I already, no, I'll use commercial. Here we go. Right, so this is just a little thing here. It's not very much. I haven't cut the edges off it yet, which is something that I never like, the fact that they've got edges. That's the first thing I do, is cut them off. Right, I want that opened out a bit more, like that. Yep. And that up there like that. Here we go. Try and get that around there a little bit. Okay, so that's going on to this here. Although I don't know that I like that. But anyway, let's just give it a go. Alright, doesn't matter. It's all playing around. Sometimes you get something great. Sometimes you don't. But you've got to keep going and trying it out. So worth it. I have millions of gel prints, but everyone's different. They're all different, the whole lot of them. That here. This needs a bit more work on it. I never worry about getting ink on the back of my page because once they're dry, you can turn it over and redo it. Okay, so look at that. The possibilities are endless. Right, so you can lift this off, and I'm going to show you another thing that you can do. Lift that off, and I'll find something else, and I'll print this over the top of something else. Hang on, whoops, can't even lift it up. Right, so which one will I print it over? Probably don't want me to, but anyway, I'm going to put it over that leafy one. Here we go. Turn it upside down. Put it on. That's going to be lovely. Can you see that through the plate? Isn't that gorgeous? Oh. Right, off we go. Lift that up. Ooh, wow. See that? Isn't that fun? And look what's still on the plate. I think I'll just take a ghost print of that onto a clean piece of paper. Right, just put that down there. Put it into registration. Right, okay, here we go. And you'll see how that small amount of ink transfers to the paper. It's miraculous, really, when you think about it. Miraculous. Look at that. So the basis for something else to start. All right. So the last thing I'm going to show you is I'm going to go back to the blue and then put a bit of the sanguine at the bottom as well. Right, see how lovely and smooth that is now? So what if we just put a bit of something weird on there? Right, so I'm going to show you how you can do 2 pulls to get detail in one go, so that you don't have to reprint over the top of it, I suppose is what I'm trying to say. Okay, so we won't use anything too difficult. Let's do some grass again. Oh, for some reason that won't do what I want it to do. Alright, it's grass again. And I'll do the Nandina again as well. Okay, so what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to print the negative, and then I'm going to lift that off and print the positive over the top of it. So you get a double banger, I suppose, in one go. And you can do all sorts of things with that too if you think about it. Lots of things you can do. Right. Press it down with your fingers just to get it into all those nooks and crannies. Okay, lift it up. Can you see that? Now what you do is you lift these off, lift that off, lift the plate up, place it in registration over the print that you've just pulled. And then print that. Woohoo! Look at that. Wow. All right, so what I might do is print this over the top of this. See this here? I'm just going to put that over the top of that. That's the ghost print basically. Right, so which way up was up? I think that way was up on that. So let's do same way up. Okay. And remember with gel printing, it's never the end. You can just keep going. Once you let it dry a bit, you can just print over the top of it again. Right, let's have a look. It's not much of an impression, but still something. See that? Last thing I'm going to do is I'll put a, what if we do, this is a lino cut, and this is a mask that's been cut out of plastic. So we'll do that one. just use up the last of the ink on the brayer. Some of this. So this makes it gorgeous, sort of browny green. It's just, oh, it's really nice. It's very natural looking. Right, so this, and then this. You can just print that on. See that? That, right. And then I'll use my bone to go in there, to go in there, in there. And what else could we do here? I suppose, you know, I can leave that and then take it off and then print the positive on the plate at the same time. So registering. Right, so just get that. Now, just lifting this up like this, right, so that you can take this out and just put that straight back down again. Now, if you found that this misregisters, of course, you can just take it right off, turn the paper over, redo the, so you can see that. So how the second pull has taken the positive out of it as well. Okay, so have I got any ink left? Tiny bit. Let's just try this, just the plain blue, and it's, you can see that it's very, 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 very transparent. So let's see if we can get anything from that. I might just use this plate again, this thing, the Kmart mat. Alright, oops, and then I've got this. Oh no, I won't use that. What if I just use one ring like that? Okay, put this over. Things are getting messy. I need to clean up, and I will in a minute. Right. Of course, you can always use a brayer to press the paper onto the print as well. Now, just have a look at this. How incredible. The amount of ink that's still left on there is just amazing, isn't it? So let's put the sanguine on as well. I'll just wipe this up. Put the sanguine on. Still, you can still see there's ink on there. I haven't recharged those rollers from the first time that we did it. So what I'll do is I'll just use my bone to make some marks. And what about a skewer? A skewer to do some lines maybe. Right. And then I'm going to put it over the top of that one that I just did, so that you can see the transparent qualities of this ink. Right. Whoa, it's almost a bronze colour. Incredible. Right, so I'll just go through them again. Remember, we did the tissue, first, second, then we did these here, and this one was a bit muckier because of there's too much ink on there. You need to have just a very light coat of ink like this one. See this one? That's probably the most successful one, although this, I can't wait to start drawing into this one. And of course there was this on another piece of tissue paper, this one. You can see probably a little bit too much ink. Tissue paper is probably not the best for oil-based inks. I feel that computer paper or rice paper maybe is probably better, but that's, you know, up to you to try some different things. Now I'm going to show you how to clean it up. Right, so this is just baby oil and a baby wipe, and you just need to give it a clean. And you are ready to start again. So I'll put this one down as the last bit. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed that. I'll put the, I think I've told you all of the materials I've used, and I hope you give it a try, because a lot of printmakers have a lot of ink lying around and it's always an issue to use it up. So the gel press is another way you can do that. Okay, cheers.